Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session with its announcement docket. First case is cause number 23 CCCR 2318 case. The style of the state of Texas versus Roy Darrell Andrade. Mr. Andrade, would you please come forward? Mr. Andrade, your full name is Roy Darrell Andrade? How are you doing, Mr. Andrade? You doing fine? Well, that's good. Now, Mr. Brown, what is your announcement in Mr. Andrade's case?
Your Honor, I've spoken, today was my first opportunity to speak with the district attorney, and we'd like to consider any offers that they might have, and I was going to see if we could get another announcement at a later time.
Okay, just want to reset it for announcement. Okay, this case will be reset for March 13th of 2024. Mr. Andrade, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. You have a blessed day as well, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Please stand over in front of the court coordinator.
That's what
Okay.
We'll accept we're not taking from that.
Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session in 2 cases. Cause numbers 23-CCCR 0052, cause number 23-CCCR 0053. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Kenny J. Prevost. Mr. Prevost is currently on Zoom. Mr. Prevost, you could take your mic off of mute. Mr. Prevost, how are you doing? Your mic must still, hold on, is this mic on? Hold on. Okay, yeah. Mr. Prevost, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. How are you doing, Mr. Prevost?
Good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Prevost, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney James Padgett, who's present in court. Mr. Padgett, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Padgett, what is your announcement in Mr. Prevost's cases?
Your Honor, it will go on your plea docket. We worked this case out. I just need to, I'm gonna have to ask Mr. Prevost to, we'll set up an appointment, contact my office, and we'll set up an appointment. And then I'll relay the options to him, but he's going to accept it.
Okay. And Mr., give us a reset date? Okay, this case will be reset to February 26th for a plea. On that date, Mr. Prevost, you need to be here in court in person. Mr. Prevost, your attorney will be given notice of your reset. This will conclude your case. Stay in contact with your bondsman and your attorney. You're free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay,
And I'm working on it. Thank you for your
Okay.
consideration.
you're welcome. Ms. Peraza, are you ready on Haywood? Paulette Renee Haywood?
That's why I was like, wait a minute, what?
This is cause number 23-CCCR 0016. Case is style of state of Texas versus Paulette Renee Haywood. Ms. Haywood, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Haywood?
I'm blessed, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Ms. Haywood, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Laura Peraza. Ms. Peraza, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good.
That's good. Now, Ms. Peraza, what is your announcement in Ms. Haywood's case?
So, Your Honor, we have received all the discovery, we have received an offer, but we have not reviewed the DVD. So if we could just have one more reset to allow me time to do that.
Okay. Give us a reset date.
Are you?
Steve, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, this case will be reset to February 19th. Ms. Haywood, you're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Peraza, I think this is your only case. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Oh. This is cause numbers. Well, cause number 23-CCCR 0374. Case is style of state of Texas versus Eric Lee Forehand. Mr. Forehand is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Forehand, you can take your mic off of mute. Okay, how you doing, Mr. Forehand?
All right.
Mr. Forehand, you're
All right,
representing.
how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Forehand, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore, who is also appearing via Zoom. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
Good, Judge. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Galmore, earlier your client informed the court that he was sick and he was advised by you to appear via Zoom.
Yes,
And we need to get, you need to get the court that information, verifying his sickness. So, the court will give you, I don't know how much time. But now, Mr. Forehand, you can get that information to your attorney. You probably can fax it, I would imagine. And
yes, sir.
he should be able to either fax it here, email it, or appear in person with that information.
Yes, sir. I can do that.
Okay? So until we get that information from you, we're gonna hold off on resetting this case.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Galmore, you understand that?
Yes, Judge, I'll get that information to the court as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay, y'all free to go. Mr. Galmore, you're free to go. I think this is your only case. You have
It
a
is.
blessed day. And Mr. Forehand, court will be praying that you have a speedy recovery. You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you, Judge. Have a good one.
Okay, same to you. Jefferson, Jefferson County Court of Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session and calls number 23CCCR 0322 cases style the state of Texas versus Larry Dale Anderson Jr. Larry Dale Anderson Jr. Okay. Mr. Anderson, your full name is Larry Dale Anderson Jr.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Anderson?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Anderson. You represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Padgett. Attorney Padgett, how are you doing?
Good morning again, Your Honor.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Padgett, what is your announcement in Mr. Anderson's case?
This case will be placed on your plea docket, Your Honor. We have received an offer. My client's prepared to accept it. There are some conditions I need to sit down and discuss with him that will require some communication.
Okay, give us a. Okay, this case is reset to February 26th of 2024 for a plea. Mr. Anderson, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand open in front of our court administrator. Okay. Well, but he still has. Jarvis Hardwine? Yeah, take your hands out your pockets, Mr. Hardwine. Okay, this is cause number M333402. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jarvis Wayne Ordwine III. Mr. Ordwine, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Ordwine?
Good.
That's good. Mr. Ordwine, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney James Padgett. Attorney Padgett, what is your announcement in Mr. Ordwine's
This
case?
case will also go on your plea docket, Your Honor. And if we could do the February 26th date on him, it would be perfect.
Okay, so this case will be reset February 26, 2024 for a plea. Mr. Ordwine, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And I thank Mr. Padgett, this is the last case.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're free to go and you have a
Thank you.
blessed day.
Remember, get a little time to inform you.
Next case is cause number 23CCCR 1540. Case is style, the state of Texas versus Kerry Wayne Jones. Good morning. Now, Mr. Jones, your full name is Kerry Wayne Jones Jr. How are you doing, Mr. Jones? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Jones. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Willard Hall. Attorney Hall, how are you doing?
Doing great. Your Honor. Thank you.
That's- That's good. Now, Mr. Hall, do you waive a record in Mr. Jones' case?
Yes,
Mr. Jones, I have, Mr. Jones, would you, please raise your right hand? Mr. Jones, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes.
Mr. Jones, you may put your hand down. Mr. Jones, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. Now, the state is waiving the enhancement paragraph in this case?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, because it wasn't on here.
Class A.
Yeah, I think the wrong box is checked. Yeah, it is. You'd have to, you checked off this class B. Yeah. Just check the class, so you can erase that.
Yes. The top one,
Yeah, Class A,
Okay.
yes.
No, it's Class A.
Yeah, all right. Okay, now, Mr. Jones, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Kerry Wayne Jones Jr., on or about May 18th of 2023, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Jones, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Jones, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Jones, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Jones, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
On the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that
Yes,
statement?
sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Hall, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yeah.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Number 1 in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any
No.
objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Hall, you've advised and counseled Mr. Jones. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, your attorney, Mr. Hall, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
That agreement is a plea to the state's offer of 180 days probated over 1 year with a $500 fine, 60 hours community service, installation of an interlock device, and DWI standard conditions of probation.
Okay. What is this court cost? Okay. Mr. Jones, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the one-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500. You'll also be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. You'll be required to pay a court cost, $377. You'll be required to pay $60 a month or a probation fee, $15 each month for your analysis fee, and a $15 reimbursement fee. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County the DWI initial evaluation fee, DWI education fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month, is $172 a month. Will you be able to pay the $172 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You're required to attend and complete a DWI education class and have an alcohol assessment, and you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Jones, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Jones, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Jones, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand next to your attorney in front of our court coordinator. Follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Hall, I think this is your only case. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, this is clause number 23 CCCR 1312. Case in style of state of Texas versus Rayvon Gallo. Mr. Gallo is represented by his attorney. Well, actually, you're a standby attorney in this
Well,
case?
I'm not sure, Judge, because he filed a pro se motion for speedy trial. Now,
You can't have
for the
hybrid.
court to accept that, he's got to be pro se, but I don't know.
Yeah, you can't have hybrid representation. Could you pull up his case? Yes, hybrid representation. If he's filing motions,
But he does have a felony motion to revoke probation in drug court.
it's, the apartment. I think it might just been a regular appointment. What do you say he was appointed from the affidavit? What are you talking?
From the magistrate? No, I'm sorry.
He was had a regular appointment. I just need to pull up his regular appointment.
That's, yes, sir, that's what I have as a regular appointment, just,
If it was standby, it would be on there.
well, it didn't say on there.
So it's not, you're not standby. You are his attorney.
I am his attorney, although he is filing pro se.
Well, that's hybrid representation.
I understand.
You can't
Judge,
have hybrid
the court is
representation.
not going to allow that, I don't think, but
That's the law.
yes, sir. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just, this is apparently the basis of the motion to revoke probation that he is over in drug court in right now. I suspect that unless they have this hearing today, he will still have that case pending over there.
I understand.
And I can stay here, Judge, as long as you tell me to stay here.
Can we find out if there's an MTR, if there's a motion to revoke probation hearing today? They're gonna check, because if not, it's probably gonna be reset.
Yes, sir.
Right.
We had this set about 2 weeks ago and nothing happened. In other words, they just reset it about 2 weeks.
They did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, we'll find out and we'll let you know.
Okay.
Because I would imagine that would be dispositive of this case, the MTRP, wouldn't it?
More than likely, yes.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't have to be, I don't think, but I think it would be.
Yeah,
because it's the
yeah, it
same.
doesn't, yeah.
And there may be some other things in the MTRP, some
Right.
administrative.
Now, okay, that's the MTRP. If he filed over there, they're required to have a hearing within 20 days. That's probably what happened. If he asks for a hearing, a MTRP hearing. I think the law says you can have it if he files what he's entitled to have a hearing within 20 days. That's over on the felony side. And so there's a possibility that you may be having it.
And he didn't even advise me to file a motion for speedy trial, but the clerk's office did.
Right,
So,
right,
you know, I mean,
right,
it's
right.
It's kind of one of those things, Judge, where I don't think he has any idea what the law is
Right,
procedurally.
right,
The court
right,
does.
right. Okay. So,
What I was going to suggest, Judge, is, I mean, if something is being done over there, we can dispose of this case. We'll hang around. I can go up to the third floor and talk to the DAs about some cases.
that's fine,
You
that's
know,
fine. You can come back and check back on. Okay,
It's not that I don't want to sit here and talk to them.
I
It's just,
understand.
I don't think it's going to do much good to talk about his case.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you're free to go, Mr. Bro. You have a blessed day. Once we get that reset date from felony court, we'll let you know about, we'll reset this case on the same day. All right.
Just hoping maybe they do something with that, so.
You gotta get on this side. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 back in session. Court is in session and calls number M333750. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Derek Dwayne Givens. Mr. Givens, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Givens? That's good. Mr. Givens, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Givens, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sir.
Mr. Givens, you may put your hand down. Mr. Givens, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Benjamin Jeffries. Attorney Jeffries, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Jeffries, do you waive a record in Mr. Givens' case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Givens, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information is filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Derek Dwayne Givens, on or about October 14 of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Givens, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Sir.
And to discharge, Mr. Givens, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Okay.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Givens, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on the line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification, Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
You have the discovery certification.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Gibbons, I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gibbons, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Jeffries, go over these documents with you?
Sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Gibbons, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, Your
No
Honor.
objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Court will also take judicial notice of the probable cause affidavit. Mr. Jeffries, you've advised and counseled Mr. Gibbons, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gibbons, your attorney, Mr. Jeffries has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. Also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for a plea to the state's offer of 6 months deferred probation with a $500 fine, 30 hours community service, and restitution of $159.86 to the city of Groves.
What is this court cost?
$327. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gibbons, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6 months probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 for score costs of $327. You'll be required to pay court costs of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, a restitution fee of $15, and you're required to pay restitution of $159.86 to the city of Grove. That will come to a total of monthly installments of $298.37 a month. Would you be able to pay the $297.37 a month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 30 hours of community service. You're required to attend and complete a theft class as well as you understand the terms and conditions of this theft probation. Now, Mr. Gibbons, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Gibbons, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Gibbons, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure of that record. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Gibbons, you're going to stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of our coordinator. Once you finish following her directions, you will be free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
Okay? You're welcome. Next case is cause number M 334-164, case of style of state of Texas versus Christopher Struthers. Mr. Struther, your full name is Christopher Struther. Mr. Struther, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Struther, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Struther, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Struther? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Struther, you represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Benjamin Jeffries. Attorney Jeffries, do you waive a record in Mr. Struther's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Struther, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Christopher Struther, on or about November 10th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offensive assault. Mr. Struther, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Struther, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes,
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
no content, my bad.
Okay, so you're pleading no contest?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Struther, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked, the contingent. You place your initials on this document.
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. First box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Struther, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Struther, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Jeffries, you've advised and counseled Mr. Struthers. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Struthers, your attorney, Mr. Jeffries has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Struther, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
That's a plea to the state's offer of 1 year deferred probation with a $1,000 fine, 60 hours community service, and no contact with the complaining witness Cruz right now.
Okay. What is this court cost?
337.
Mr. Strother, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $337. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee, $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $205. Will you be able to pay the $205 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, cannot have any contact with the complaining witness, in this case, Cruz Reiner, and you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Strother, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Strother, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Strother, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. You're gonna stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of our court coordinator and the bailiff. Once you finish following their directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day, and you'll be free to go as well, Mr. Jeffries. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next three cases are cause numbers 23CC Sierra 0865, cause number M331910, and cause number M334212. All three cases are styled as state of Texas versus Aiden B. McCaig. Mr. McCaig, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. McCaig?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. McCaig, you represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Tom Kelly. Attorney Kelly, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. Happy New Year to you.
And Happy New Year to you as well, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, Mr. Haig has three cases. What are your announcements in Mr. Haig's cases?
Judge, we just
My
need some time.
McCaig, I said Haig.
We need some time on these three. One to complete discovery in all three of them, and also some time to speak with the governance lawyer.
Okay, let me do this here. This one. Okay. Could you give us a reset date? What is that date? March 11th. Mr. McCaig, your cases will be reset till March 11th of 2024. Your attorney will be given a copy of your reset dates. Once you get a copy of your reset dates from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Kelly, I think these are your only cases. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Sir, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mr. Ross. Now, Mr. Ross, in your case, you're represented by Attorney John Macy. And Mr. Macy has not arrived. I think this court has called his office. And we have not been able to get a response from him. Have you talked to him?
He told me what you're doing, he had quit this morning, something about district or something.
Oh, he has court this morning in a district court?
Yeah,
Okay.
something.
I wonder what court is it? Did he say
It's
whether?
Next county over.
Oh,
I'm
he's
not-
in another county. Okay, okay. Probably in Hardin County or Orange County, something like that. Okay.
I came from New Mexico.
Hmm.
I said I came from New Mexico, I'm not familiar.
Okay. Just set tight and we'll wait for him to arrive.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sure.
You're welcome. Court will be in recess